should you live with the person before you commit for the rest of your life and get married? I think this is something, and I was just talking about I was talking this to my wife earlier today. I think it is important to live with a person so you get to learn their ways, stuff like that. Because let's say, you know, you're dating, you go and visit each other, and it's not the same when you're there every single day. You're literally seeing them all the time versus where you stop by, you sleep over, you won't see them for like 2 or 3 days, you talk on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
I think living with them, you get to learn everything and you see their habits, you know, their pros and cons. Is that something you think for you, because I'm already married, but for you, do you think it's something you like? I think it's best we live together first and we, you know, take it from there.
Right. I think that's tough.
Okay.
It's tough. Is it smart? Sure. Because like you said, you actually get to know them for real. Because seeing how somebody lives is completely different.
Yeah, because if you come over, like you clean up before they get here. When you live together, it is what it is.
But the reason that's also like sketchy sometimes is because like, what if it doesn't work out? Right. So now I live with you. We're on the lease together.
Save you though from then getting married and then you move?
100%. But
because the divorce is more expensive than the lease.
100%. But it's like now you're on the lease together. Now it's awkward. Well, how do we get out of this? How do we do this, this, and this?
You have a dog together. Who gets the dog? You know.
Yeah, I've literally seen that happen before.
Really?
Where it's like they had joint custody on a freaking golden retriever. I was like, what is happening right now? this isn't real life, right? It's not an actual child.
Yeah,
somebody take the damn dog. But I get it though. You know what I'm saying? Like
you get visitation.
But yeah, like I get to see the dog on Wednesdays, right? Obviously, it saves more than a divorce, but either way, it's still a tricky situation, right? And then on top of that, I grew up in the church. For those that have been watching, my dad's a pastor,
married first,
right?
Before.
So mentally,
you've been trained,
growing up with the mindset of let's not do that until we're married. Granted, it's completely changed a lot since growing up, but that's still there, you know, in the back of my head. And then on top of that, I got to deal with my dad, right? So how would my parents take? Yo, I'm moving in with my shorty. That'll lead to a whole different conversation and a whole fight with my family that I don't know if I personally would want to have. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. But what if the girl's like, hey, I want to live with you. Like I want us to. We
could do every other weekend. You know, like joint custody. Jesus. You could live with me. You could live with me 2 weekends out the month, you know?
Oh man.
You gotta find the balance where it's not too permanent, but like you still get to see majority of my situation, you know what I'm saying? We get joint custody. We're a joint custody living relationship, you know? 2 weekends a month.
Okay.
Have fun. You know, it's about like 7 to 10 days out the month.
Yeah.
So, you know, you get 1/3 of a month to live with me.
I think you say that now, but when you're like fully in love, say goodbye to streaming. I'll never see Chris again, and probably be the end of the podcast. You know,
that's crazy.
Chris is
I can't believe this guy.
I don't know. I feel like Chris is gonna.
Any woman that wants to be with me, if you're watching this and you are a fan, right?
You're a fan first. Okay.
If you're gonna stop me from doing this, you're not made for me. All right. This is what I love doing. This is what I choose to do. Okay. So if you're gonna stop me, you're not made for me. You know what I'm saying? Your wife don't stop you from doing this.
No, she does it. You know, that brings up another topic, and I know we wanted to talk about something else, but I was thinking about this in the shower because I think about a lot of things when I'm in the shower. I wasn't thinking about you. I was thinking about a situation.
Shower. By the way, this guy made me wait forever. Okay, he told me 10:30 on the dot 2 days ago. Guess what happened at 10:30?
I'm gonna edit this part out.
He wasn't here to be found. Okay.
All right. So real quick, I met my wife when I was doing vlogs on YouTube. So I wasn't gaming or streaming or anything like that. I've actually, prior to meeting my wife, I've like talked to women that said, you know, I'd rather not date someone who's a gamer because their whole like mindset is just like playing Madden or 2K and they don't spend enough time with me and that's all they care about. And we've seen videos of women deleting like actual accounts because they want more time with their man. I feel like with my wife, very lucky by the way, because I started doing vlogs and then I switched over once the pandemic had started doing streaming of video games. Right. She could have just switched up on me like, you play too much Call of Duty. I don't know if this is gonna work. And it's not like I could say you met me like this. No, I literally switched up. Meeting you where you do play games and we have the podcast, do you think for, dating purposes, will that change for you too? Where it's like, I know you got to dedicate more time to your relationship now. So, you won't have all the time in the world to do everything you normally do. But how would that work?
That's the thing. Life is life, right? Things change, things happen, but there's balance. So like, obviously right now I have the opportunity to kind of just put everything into one basket as far as the content creation, video, streaming, gaming,
no distractions
and the podcast, right? Yeah. There's nothing there. If somebody comes along, they're going to have to understand this is something I'm still going to do regardless. And then I'm going to have to switch my scheduling up to balance it out. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to spend time with you, but guess what? I'm going to still do this. Yeah. Don't stop me from doing it, because all that's going to do is ruin a relationship, right? I enjoy doing this. I'm happy doing this. It's something I have a passion for. So why would you stop me from doing something I'm passionate about if you actually care for me, just so you can be selfish, right? It's okay to be a little bit selfish, right? Because like I said, I'm still going to do what I want to do, but obviously I'm not going to neglect you and give you the time and stuff that you want and need as a human being. So it's like, it's a balance, right? So maybe I have to stream a little bit less. Right now I'm able to stream 5 days a week. Maybe I'll switch it to 3 days a week. 2 of those days are all dedicated to you. Instead of doing instead of 2 days dedicated to editing, I'll do 1 day dedicated to editing. So now you get 3 days a week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, there's balance. Yeah. And then if we're like, let's say we get serious and we move in together, like we were just talking about. Now you're with me all the time. Yeah. So now I can literally just take a break and we could go hang out, watch a movie, chill, go out to eat. It's balance. Yeah. It's not like I'm going to be like, man, screw you, whatever. And there's been plenty of times where you were like, yo, can't play tonight, bro. I'm spending time with my family, my wife.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. There's balance
like,
there
how
too.
hard is that? Yeah. How hard is that? If you're neglecting your loved one or your family, then that's another story. I would never do that, right? The people that like watching me would have to understand, Chris's life has kind of changed a little bit. Yeah. So some stuff we're gonna have to take a little more of a back seat compared to what I've been doing. So that's it. Yeah, I saw a video on TikTok. Well, I seen a couple of videos where the man is playing a game and his family's just standing there by the door and they just like look sad and then watching the father play. And he gets up. You think he's gonna like hug the kids? He literally closes the door. But no, that doesn't happen here. Like, my wife, she's understanding. And I've always said, like, I never stream on weekends because that's dedicated really to my family, to my wife when we don't have our kids, and to when we do have our kids. We try to schedule those things. So streaming during the week has always been, a thing for me where I would do Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, because Fridays, that's when the weekend starts. Now, if I do stream on Friday, it's literally for a couple hours before my wife gets home, and then like I did this Friday, I was playing Wukong. Like, and I she got home. You were like, "Yo, I gotta go eat." Yeah, it's lit. We out. Yeah, and but you got off. Now, are there gonna be other couples that are understanding that way, or are they just gonna be like, "Nah, you gotta cut that off. Once I walk in the house, I'm gonna pull the plug." Right. I don't know how that works for some people, because I even get like asked at my job, like, "Your wife lets you play games?" I'm like, what do you mean lets me play? Like, I never understood that idea. I'm not her kid.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh, your wife is great. She lets you play games all the time. Like, it's not. It's communication. That's what it comes down to. You're communicating.
And not only that, it's like, why is it that, at least from the videos that I've seen that you're talking about, the women are allowed to watch their TV shows, do all this extra stuff, but then I want to play a video game and it's a problem. So it's like I don't understand the logic behind it, because it's like.
It's like, oh, that's for kids.
If I turn on the TV and I watch a show, it's not a problem. But the minute you hear the PlayStation button, you want to fight with me for what? Yeah. What's the difference? Yeah. What's the difference? Yeah. I'm doing something I enjoy. I'm having fun. I like playing video games. Yes, it's like a little getaway. It's my little getaway.
Exactly.
And the thing is,
but
at least
some people look at it as like a little kid thing because it's so dedicated and marketed to kids.
I know that's how you felt about anime, and look at how your life has changed since you started watching My Hero.
I never said that.